Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
And my name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad. And on today's episode, Kevin shows us how not to utilize Preparation H.
And not exactly. Just keep listening. Make sure you keep listening. That's not what happens. There's no Preparation H to this story. But on this podcast, Evan eats his pride.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Way before anybody else. Cheers.
How you doing?
Well, you know, I'm a little nervous.
Because there's 12 days left of school?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Well, because I remember last summer and every summer with children prior to that, especially with kids in school.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, the end of the school year is almost coming in. Then it's like, it's summer. Figure out something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, it's like the sixth day of summer, and I feel like I'm tapped out.
Yeah. It's been getting warm, and
That's the thing that's making me nervous, because it's like, it's teasing me. It's going to be hot like this. It's going to be hot like this.
I guess I was this way before kids too, of like we live adjacent to the beach. You know, it's a drive, but like it's there.
It's a 50-minute drive.
It's a 50-minute drive, but like that's very doable.
Yeah.
And we almost never go.
I mean, you know, does everybody in New York like Saturday mornings get up, head to the ferry, and go take a look at the Statue of Liberty? No.
Well, because we live there. It's terrible.
Right. We live here. We don't go to the beach all the time.
Statue of Liberty is not the same as a beach.
Statue of Liberty is way cooler than the beach.
No, it's not.
In the
Statue of Liberty doesn't
things,
every once in a while have dolphins show up.
I don't know. I'm not there a lot. There's water surrounding it. You think a dolphin can't sneak by and take a peek at that thing?
It'll die in that water.
Used to be copper.
It'll get hit by a boat.
Still is copper.
It'll get hit by a boat, and then we'll all scream and cry. That'd be sad.
And then the president will blame the dolphin for being there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know. It's no. What a horrible example. But it feels kind of like. But it's like because it's there. I know it's there. I know I could go. But that's a 50-minute drive.
It's a 50-minute
and all that stuff. You know, it's like
you know what it is. It. I mean, this is the obvious answer, but it's the preparation. If it's a 50-minute drive, you got to bring at least
then it's like a day
meal.
Thing. Yeah, you're already 2 hours of your day is just going to and from the beach.
Yeah.
So like,
which is fine.
Better make it worth it. So you better pack a bunch of stuff.
Pack a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. How many times have you gone to the beach and you're like, didn't we used to have sand pails and stuff? All right, let's stop at the drugstore and get like the $4.99 pack of it with the fishnet on top. And then you get it, and you go to the beach and they play. It's great fun. And then there's a couple of things like, this is worthless. Let's not keep this. Let's just keep everything in the bucket, and then we'll keep it for next time. And then it's like, 9 months later, you're like, let's go to the beach today. And you're like, where's that stuff? You can't find it.
We used to have a sandbox here.
The sand is still in the car, but the toys are gone.
Sure. We used to have a sandbox here at our house, and that was great because then you come back from the beach, dump those things.
Yeah.
So they were easy to find. I don't think we have any. I think we have a pail. I think we have a pail. It's probably missing a handle.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty good.
That's it.
That's pretty good.
So we probably got to, I don't know. The beach is a lot of work. And
the beach is exactly like the gym. You're happy when you went, but it's like you got to kind of drag yourself there.
You're also like the gym. You also are like, it doesn't feel like we've been here very long, but like how much longer should we be here?
Feels like when you're at the beach, there's a window where you like an hour and a half could be good. You could kind of be there for like an hour and a half and be like, we did a bunch of stuff. We don't necessarily need to be here all day. Let's head back. We could do, make early dinner plans and go play some stuff at home.
Yeah.
But so there's like a bit of a window there. And then somehow that window, whether or not if you decide to go, you go.
Uh-huh.
Then that window passes and then it's like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. How long have we been here?
That's nice when you cross that threshold.
Well, what I'm saying is, but then sometimes you're like, oh, we haven't thought about dinner. Nothing is taken out of the freezer. It's going to take an hour to get home. Now we're pushing 6. It's like, oh man, we were here for too long.
My kids have not eaten dinner before 6 in forever. It's usually closer to 7, honestly, that my kids eat dinner. Relax. Stop typing. Writing your letters. All right. I'm doing my best over here.
Well, we'll get to it. My dumb dad moment has something to do with that.
Well,
trying to eat before 6.
Oh, okay.
So just remember that.
Doesn't happen.
We're going to get there.
It's funny because the beach, going back to that real quick, what I've just thinking about is like we're a very nervous generation of parents.
Yeah.
Like our kids go to cross the road. We can see both sides. We know there's no cars coming, not even close, not even like one double parked. Maybe he'll move. No, there's no cars. Nobody's coming. And we still, as a generation of parents, are like, hey. Like, look, hold hands. We're like, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying we're an anxious generation of parents.
Yeah.
Put us at the beach. It's not fun because we're letting them play at a natural event that could just decide to take them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the ocean is scary. Like the ocean is just scary. You know, it's a underestimated like dangerous situation.
Yeah.
The beach is great and it's fun to swim in the waves, like 100%. And I'm not talking about like sharks sneaking out. We're not talking about that. Just the ocean and the current of the ocean is really can be dangerous. I mean, I don't know how to put it more cleanly than that, but like a little kid would just, it's like, this is gone. Like, that's scary.
It's funny how we're just like playing and then like in a second we're like, oh God, they got swallowed up, and lift them up and go, you good? All right, we're staying here? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is stand in knee-deep water and feel how hard it's pulling your body when the wave is just going back to the ocean. And like think about weighing 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Or go snorkeling once and be sitting in front of a rock, mostly underwater, and then like that, you are 15 feet from where you just were.
Sure.
Like without even moving. The ocean's just like, you're over here now. And that's like wild.
I know, and I think it's funny that us as parents subject ourselves to that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And yet we're like, no, you can't have 2 cookies.
Oh, be safer. It's just
Let's not run at the playground. However, I will say this.
They jump off a rock, you're like, oh, that was high. Into sand at the playground.
Into sand, yeah. You mentioned something a second ago, how scary it is for us parents now. We are an anxious generation of parents. We are an anxious generation.
Yeah.
I think that's a blanket statement.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've talked about this before. Like, can you imagine, like, the stuff we got away with as kids? And nothing crazy, but even something as simple as, like, you know, my mom and dad were at work. We'd come home from school. We could, like, get on our bikes and, like, ride around the neighborhood and stuff until they got home.
Yeah.
Like, now I'd be like, no, I don't like you guys doing that. Which is like an anxious generation. And I think like, oh, gosh, it's so much more dangerous now. We have all this information. We have more information about how dangerous it is. And we were at a friend's house swimming in their pool.
Uh-huh.
And I met this guy's dad. Super cool dude. The guy is like 6'4", huge dude. Mm-hmm. Tattoos everywhere. Very nice. But we were just having a conversation. And just to paint a picture of like, this guy's kind of intimidating, you know?
Sure.
But he was like, I mentioned something kind of like that. Oh, it's so scary now. And he's like, oh, it's way safer now. And I was like, then when we were kids? And I kind of like immediately had that reaction of like, are you out of your mind? Now it seems way scarier. And he's like, there's no way. It's so much safer now. There's cameras everywhere. There's people with cameras everywhere. The coverage and the amount of like what you could, is like, he's like,
trust me, man. I've been trying to snatch kids all week.
He was like, I grew up in Los Angeles. He's like, Los Angeles in the 80s was scary. And I knew it as a kid walking outside. This is a scary place.
Like, I've had these tattoos since I was 8.
Yeah, he's like, and like he kind of laid it out very clearly. He's like, it was a thing to be in a gang, like as you grew up to be a teenager in Los Angeles in the 80s. Like you like find your gang. You're in a gang. Like if cool kids were in gangs. He's like, you're not in gangs.
So was that when you're like, time to go, guys?
But it was just like, it was actually, if anything, it was just a little bit like refreshing to hear someone else say that. Mostly, I sat here and I just said, I agree with you. I feel like it's so scary. I'm so afraid for my children all the time. And it's not like, who's that? What are they doing? And my kids are not allowed outside. That's not what it is. But you're just always paying attention, right? You're always paying attention.
Yeah.
Where your kids are, where they are at the park, that kind of stuff. Just because it's like the fear built into us when we were kids about like how scary it is. People on milk boxes and like all this stuff. Don't go to the Bermuda Triangle. You'll vanish. Like stuff like that. And when you're just thinking like the world's a scary place. And this guy was like, arguably, I think it's a little safer. Yes, we still have to be careful watching our kids, but it's way safer than it was.
My parents.
And I was just like, I think you're right. But I still feel scared all the time.
Well, because we know more.
That's the thing. I said that was my point. It's like, but we know more. The internet feeds you all the scary stuff. He's like, right, but that's because they're trying to make you scared. I was like, uh-huh. It's working. I'm scared.
Yeah, my parents only ever got the plastic gallons of milk. We never got the like half-gallon cartons. Because we drank a lot of milk, but it also might be my parents didn't want like that kind of bummer in the morning.
Yeah, we had the jugs. We had 3 kids. It was like we're plowing through milk at our house.
I wanted to do
Which I
like
can't do anymore. I can't just drink a glass of milk.
next podcast. We're chugging.
Like an entire glass of plain milk. Cold milk.
Oh, you said cold.
Oh.
Sweeten the deal.
It's warm? Lukewarm milk?
Warm? I can do it. I'm sad.
You do a lot when you're sad.
Or nothing.
There's no motivation. I don't care if it's cold or not. I mean, does that are you like, oh, that guy's totally wrong, it's way scarier? Or do you think it's just our perception?
No, I think he's right. I think it is safer because there's more opportunities to, I mean, locate kids, stop people from doing stuff. But it's one of those things.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before. It's Pandora's box. Pandora's box has been opened. We've seen too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like there's no way to not be afraid. I've told my parents that. Having said that, going back to like the bike thing, like, oh, what are you doing? Or like they're jumping off a rock, like, careful.
Yeah.
I just think of the hypocrites that we are. This is all people. I think about the fact that parents are hypocrites all the time, and I kind of can't let go of it.
Give me an example.
I used to climb with my brothers on the roof of our house
Yeah.
just to hang out.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. That my kids
Now you wouldn't do that now?
Huh? I've gone on my roof. I'm talking about like kids.
But it's insane to you to think like, yeah, have the kids run up there and hang out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
how old were you when you were doing that?
32?
No.
No, I don't remember. I was young. I mean, all three.
You weren't 6.
So all three. Yeah, no, I wasn't 6, but all three of us, me, my 2 brothers, were still at home. My brother moved out when he was 18, so I was probably like, it was probably before then. So I was like probably 14, 13.
Yeah.
And
It was pitched roof.
a second 2-story roof, pitched roof, not flat.
2-story roof. Yeah.
You fall off. It's that's it.
Yeah. That's hospital. I mean, yes.
But
that's that is a good example because it's like, but at the same time, like, as an adult, you didn't know the danger when you're a kid. You didn't even think about it.
No.
You're like up there with your cool brothers.
No, I know. My point is, it's not any of that. I'm aware of that. It's a reaction to it.
Sure.
What are we doing here?
Like sitting on the edge of the couch.
Are you guys out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
That's when I feel
That's ridiculous.
like a generation of fathers tap me on the shoulder going, not so easy, is it?
I know. It's so funny to me.
You
that
just said
you're
something
just like,
you thought like, God, man, what a cheesy thing to say.
what were you thinking? Were you thinking?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it didn't just grow legs and walk away. It's got to be around here somewhere.
And it's just like, you were worse.
Yeah.
But we have to hide that.
Yeah.
We have to shield that
You have
from our
to-
kids until they're older, and then you slowly. Well, it depends. Like some stuff you can tell your kids you did or what happened.
Yeah.
Then other stuff you wait until they're in their like 20s and 30s, and you're like, oh yeah, I used to do this. I used to be on the roof all the time. They're like, what?
You wait until you're 30.
Until they're 30, and then be like, you want to hear something crazy?
You're like, I could have been on the roof.
I think about that all the time. Maybe it's because
Yeah.
I'm immature, but I just like
No, I think it's
I laugh about that stuff all the time of just
Yeah.
like how we're all like we talk about it like our generation doesn't like to adult and
adulting.
Or
Adulting is overwhelming.
or it's just that like we have imposter syndrome, and
Sure.
I feel like that's part of it is the imposter syndrome is like because we're just older than them.
I still feel like and in my head, I still feel like I'm 12. I still feel like I think about things like I did when I was 12.
Yeah.
I know more stuff,
Yeah.
but I still feel like I think like that. And so then it's like, you're in charge of children. It's like,
Oh no.
okay.
Can you take the matches with you?
Yeah.
I don't trust myself.
So I got to figure out how to have a Pop-Tart this morning, but they want the Pop-Tarts, and there's only a couple left.
I'm gonna put that on the top shelf behind
I think
this.
that means I'm losing out on Pop-Tarts. This kids thing is overrated.
What's chocolate chip pancakes? It's dinner time.
I think part of it for me is in thinking like that as well is like I said, when you say something you think you'd never say or have a perspective like a traditional father's perspective that you're like, oh, that kind of came out of nowhere. But now I understand. And then that's one of the things I think about a lot is like feeling like how my dad must have felt or, gaining perspective all the time of like how my dad must have felt raising 3 kids. Of course my mom and dad, but like as a dad, like that perspective is gained like in bunches as your kids grow up and do stuff in front of you and you're like, oh, man, my mom and my dad was just trying to raise kids and be himself and have his friends and do his thing too. Like
Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there getting mad at your kids for,
Yeah, it's funny.
standing on a chair.
It's dumb. It's funny.
And you're
It's
like,
just because you're tired and overstimulated.
yeah, exactly. Let your kids do dangerous things safely. Isn't that like something like that?
Yeah.
Let them do it safely under your supervision. Not don't do this, don't do this, don't do
Yeah.
this.
Don't let them do all dangerous things.
Yeah, that's why I took my son's in free running. He was not great in gymnastics. We took him to free running. It's so much fun to watch him in free running. It's like jumping off things onto pads, learning how to roll out of them and stuff like that. He loves it.
Great.
It's so fun to watch. And I think like
that's great because when he falls off the roof, he can roll through
he can roll out of it from the bush.
Perfect.
Yeah, tuck roll, and he's like on his he's on his feet.
All right, nice.
That was close.
Ooh, good thing we're not a second story. Well, let's get into the dumb dad moments.
Yeah,
on that note,
let's do that.
So my dumb dad moment is brought to you by preparation, leaving the house.
Preparation house.
Not yet. Don't spoil it. Yeah, so this week we had baseball, and baseball is so fun. So this week we had baseball, and it was like my son's...
We're recording this in the morning, if you can't tell. Kevin is just spaced into what his week was like.
So baseball was canceled for my son this week, and so we just had practice for my daughter. So that it's funny because it complicates things a little bit, but not too much. It sucks that my son has, just a little sidebar, it sucks that my daughter has baseball practice, then my son has it, because my son is the younger one.
Yeah.
So while she's having practice, he's doing the classic sibling thing. She does the same thing, which is just kind of wander the area, chase groundhogs, and just throw
make a pile of sticks,
see how high you can throw it, pine cone, and just all that stuff. So then when it's time for his practice, he's like, so tired. There's nothing you can do about it.
I burned all my energy in the warm-up.
And you're like, yeah, you did. Nobody's at fault here. Just do your best.
I took you here for an hour.
I took you here. I've been assistant coaching, just keeping an eye on you, making sure you're not wandering too far.
Yeah.
I've watched what you've been doing. I get it. You're bored, kind of tired. Now you need to focus. No, man. So him having practice canceled did make it easier. But I will say a mini dumb dad moment that worked out was I didn't bring anything for him to do because he's never had to do anything. He's always just kind of wandered. But I think because he knew he didn't have practice, he wasn't too interested in wandering. I don't know. I don't get it. But my daughter brought her pack of Pokemon cards, so he was just reading all of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids do stuff. They go, "Wow, this is great. Good for you."
It's funny though, because he's kind of into those. That's cool. I'll make sure to bring those next time. You bring him next time, he won't even look at them.
Not a chance. Not a chance, my guy.
I already looked at those. I've seen all these.
Yeah, I've been doing this thing with, all of their practices lately. I need to be better. It's a dumb dad thing, which is if it's swim or it's baseball, I tell them about it. I give them time. I give them their clothes. Go get dressed.
Yeah.
You can go back to whatever you're doing. We're not leaving yet, but get dressed. And then
usually the kids are not allowed clothes. But
no.
Then it's like a Dobby situation. It's today we have to wear clothes outside. You put them on now.
Emperor's new clothes.
It's a weird house here.
Yep, but they're happy. So they get dressed, and it's always just that's it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, get your bag. Do you have your bag? Do you have your shoes? Do you have all this stuff? And so we're walking.
God, dude. Do you look in the bag? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you look in the bag? You have all your baseball stuff? Good, great.
I look in the baseball bag. When my daughter does swim, I don't. I just go, did you bring goggles and flippers? She's like, yeah. I was like, great. And I always bring towels because I don't trust them.
My son is 10. There was 2 practices in a row. 1, no mitt. 1 time, no cleats. And I asked him before we left, is everything in your bag? Yep. And we get there and he's like, oh, I don't have my mitt. I'm like, you didn't bring your mitt to baseball practice? Yeah. I was like, I asked you if you had everything in your bag. I saw my mitt in there. I was like, you didn't. It would be here. Yeah. And then my wife's like, he's also 10. You can look in the bag.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's true.
And then you muttered under your breath, how long are you going to be using that excuse? What? Nothing. I love you. I'm going to go to the bag.
He's 30. No one told him he can't be on the roof.
Well, I will say I put their bag. I leave their bag in the car because we just have games and stuff. And it's just all right, I'll leave all their stuff in the car. So we get in the car and I'm looking, I'm like, all right, you guys got, they're dressed. They've got it all. I grabbed sunscreen. Nice.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Thought about one thing.
I haven't done that every practice. not the time of year to miss out on that, guys. And so I was like, okay, we got everything. They're in the car, and I'm like, cleats. So I run in, grab her cleats, get in the car. Are we good? I think we're good. I don't have my glove because the coach keeps swiping. He's done this twice now.
Stealing your glove.
He's just like, understandably, he's trying to get out of there for the next game. It only happens at games. So like, I bring my glove for the beginning of the game to warm the kids up. Then when the game starts, I don't need a glove. What are we doing here? So I put the glove in the dugout. And then the game ends, and I'm making sure like, everybody's got like, oh, you got your goodie bag.
Left their glove here.
And he just chucks it, and then we leave, and I'm looking for it, and I'm like, either someone stole my cheap glove, or the coach has it again. So I didn't have my glove, which was fine. So we get there, and I was like, oh my God, we got there in plenty of time. It was great. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, come. My daughter comes and sits in the back of the truck, the back of the car, and then was like, all right, let's get your cleats on. And I look, and I grabbed one of her cleats and one of my wife's sneakers. That's wild, because she just goes to show how fast they're growing, that I would ever confuse the two.
That's one.
They were side by side. I just saw them. They looked similar enough. One was definitely a cleat, probably closest to my eye line. Yeah. Scooped him.
My wife can also wear my son's shoes. She can get her foot inside of his shoe.
Yeah, I think my daughter's feet are still a little too small for that, but it was like close enough that I grabbed him. I was like, oh.
Second, that part there is like, it's not even the same kind of a shoe at all.
No, but it was just like scoop and go. Didn't even look. They were side by side. You know, you think about, you see the cleat, and behind it is also a white shoe. It looks the same. You're not like examining. Or else I'm running out the door. The kids are already in the car. I'm moving. I'm hustling. It wasn't great.
I'll give it to you.
I got lucky. I got so lucky because
there was a right and a left at least.
No, she's not wearing that. That's a nightmare. I got lucky because she had from, I don't know, swim or something. I don't know what it was from. She had a pair of like kind of rubber, what are they called? Like Croc knockoffs that she has.
Croc-offs. Yeah.
But they fit better than Crocs.
Not Crocs.
They're just like shoes that have holes in them. They're rubber or whatever. She luckily left those in the car, and I was like, that's a freebie.
And that's what she wore for baseball practice?
That's sure. Well,
hilarious.
Luckily they were just running, just batting. Like, it was just a long batting practice because we were just going over like, whatever. And it was funny because she went down, she told the coach, she's like, Coach, she called the coach over, and she's like, I don't have cleats. And he's like, oh, I don't care.
Oh, you're...
It's like nobody.
The child, doesn't matter.
You guys don't really need cleats. You guys really think you need the grip? So, come on, guys.
Yeah, you could walk to first base and usually get there. The fielding skills of these children.
They're gonna overthrow, so don't worry about it. So it was one of those moments. It was just like, oh no. Yeah. It's funny when you have a dumb dad moment and you think about it's your dumb dad moment. At the same time, you're like, I also do need to solve this, but this is a wild one.
That's a pretty wild one. And then because that's like, you're not prepared at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
It'll work, but you're wearing Crocs.
And it was funny because I was trying to gauge her because like you could tell she was getting upset, which I get because it's like she doesn't want to get in trouble. Which she's not going to, but like kids have that worry. And
boy, do they ever. It sucks.
And it was just like this thing.
I feel bad for them when they feel like they're going to get in trouble all the time.
I had to like soft offer because I don't want to like lean too much into it because then kids freak out. Be like, do you want to go home? Do you want to like just miss practice?
Yeah.
I was like, we don't have time to go get them and come back.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. You have 20 minutes left of practice.
Yeah.
I was like, did you want to just not do practice? And she's like, no, I want to go practice. I was like, okay, cool. Get that stupid idea. It was dumb. It was dumb. I don't ever want to do that.
You're just like, just in case you were thinking it, I'll be the one to say it out loud so you don't feel nervous. She's like, why would I miss practice, you idiot? Yeah. Keep driving.
I was like, right answer. Right answer.
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah. Oh, so you do like this. That means you like this.
She does like it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because she did like, practice is almost over, and she just comes over to me and she's like, my feet are on fire. I was like, oh, do the shoes hurt? And she's like, no, the ground is so hot. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's fair. I was like, those are just very thin shoes. And the ground is just, it was like 90 degrees that day.
Yeah.
And
like how it
no
happens here, it's
shade. It was just baking the field.
Yeah. When it gets hot here, especially later in the summer, that's why it stays hot later. It's like September is hot here because like the hottest part of the day is like 4:00.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You're just ramping up your whole day to like the worst part, as opposed to being like high noon being the hottest part of the day. No, it's like 4:30. It's like 106. You're like, stop it.
Yeah. I don't want to have dinner in
Enough.
this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like eating dinner. I feel like eating like salad again, which is fine. Probably a good thing.
I think
but it's like
the universe telling me something.
When it's hot, yeah, exactly. When it's hot though, it's like I don't feel like eating food.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do that. It's too hot.
Exactly.
My dumb dad moment is brought to you by eating on time, having dinner on time.
Okay.
And so we're wrapping up towards the end of the school year here. We still have, by the time you listen to this, we probably only have like a few days left. And we still have a few days left. Probably only have a couple days left by the time this comes out. I don't remember the last day of school. When is it?
Really 10 days left.
10 days left. And so we're getting close, it's like, meaning like the activities at the end of the year are all starting to, culminate.
Yeah.
And my son has been a part of this like grade-wide musical performance that they do at the end of each year, where the music teacher picks like a theme, and this year it was like mischievous kind of themed, and like each grade performs 2 songs, usually selected like from a movie or a musical or something like that. So, like the 3rd grade this year did like 2 songs from Little Mermaid, and then 4th grade did 2 songs from whatever, and then 5th grade did 2 songs from Wicked, and it was just like it's just big fun musical.
You say mischievous?
Mischief, something like that. It's it's
what they want to name
it.
Is mischievous.
I don't know. Well, Ursula, it's got some mischief about her.
I don't know that I'd take the woman who turns people into prunes in her front yard and goes, "Well, she's a little mischievous."
Well, she's more than that, but that's part of it.
It's not the first.
I don't know, man. I didn't name it.
Let's call her. Let's get her on the horn on the podcast.
So he's been preparing for this. This is like something that they go to music class, and then they start really preparing for it towards the end of the year. Everything. So that was last night.
Okay.
The big performance. It's really, really fun. They get to use props, and they do lines. They do little scenes that lead up to the song from the movies and stuff. It's really fun. And it was last night, so it's a big deal. You got to be there. And like my son had to be there by like his call time was like 5:00. Things started at 6:30.
Okay.
But my wife volunteered, and she needed to be there by like I don't know, just after 4 or something like that. So when we left our house, we were like, okay. We are blowing completely through dinner.
Yeah.
And we knew that there was the last couple of years there was going to be dinner there. There was no dinner there. There was like snack stuff and drinks. So I was like, okay, so we got to figure out how to get these kids dinner.
Yeah.
So I was like, how about this? We'll leave early, get food on the way there, eat it in the car.
Sure.
We'll be eating at like 4:30.
That's not bad.
It's not bad because then by the thing wraps up,
retirement home schedule. Love it.
But then by the time the thing's over at night, or we can come home and have a snack. I'm sure the kids will be hungry. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least they'll eat. So it was like okay, and then comes time to leave, and as you painted the picture earlier, you don't just leave on time usually because the kids have some last second thing that they forgot of or want to do.
When will we learn?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what time you want to leave. They will figure out a way to internally make it not happen.
Yes, but I think we as parents, or at least me, I'll speak for me and all the other parents who are always not leaving when they want to, we still will like not, or we have to leave by 5. We won't pull the trigger till like 5:55 or 4:55. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean? Like start getting ready?
I want to walk out the door at 5. It's not until like 4:55 that you're checking to make sure they've got everything and they've done everything.
Oh yeah.
Now you're hustling. Now you're out the door at 4:03 or 5:03. It's like, oh my God, why wouldn't I just learn to go 5-10 minutes earlier?
I know. Yeah, because you're still like you're gonna be like, oh great, it's 4:58. We're sitting in the car. The air's cooling. I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, that's fine. And then
Oh, I throw.
I'm just saying, like
plastic bottle back there.
You went to the bathroom, right? Yes, I did. I have to go again. Okay, that's fine. I can't blame you for that. So let's go to the bathroom. And the other kid's like, I got the wrong book. I didn't mean to grab this book. And you're like, we had 2 minutes to spare. Now it's 5:10. It happens all the time. Part of it was we looked when we should leave, when traffic was, then traffic built up, and by the time we were like, we should leave now, we checked traffic again. It's like, oh, traffic's worse than it said it was going to be.
Yeah.
Let's just drive straight there.
I was going to say the drive-thru is going to be harder.
Let's just drive straight there. We'll drive straight to the venue. I will drop mommy and son off, who's in the performance. He could at least be there
Yeah.
in case they need him for anything. Me and the little one will sneak out, get him some flowers for the performance,
Yeah.
and then run over InNOut. We were in the InNOut drive-thru line for like 45
That was
minutes.
a terrible choice, isn't it? Now it's always 45 minutes.
I know. I will say this, credit to InNOut. It's a long line. They usually do burn through the line pretty quickly.
Sure.
It's not like
Well, because
45 minutes an hour is like 11 o'clock at night.
did you have to go get
When
more
it's
potatoes?
like, and everyone's like, hey man, let's kill the night off with some InNOut. Like, that's the thing. During lunch and stuff, it's 30, 40 cars long, but I feel like they burn through those actually pretty quickly. There's a lot of people working in InNOut. It's not, Starbucks burns through drinks quickly, and there's like 6 people in there. You look inside of an InNOut, there's like 20 people working.
Yeah.
I mean, they're churning them out. Credit to them. Anyway, all that to say, it wasn't like we went at 8 or 6:30. We were there at like 5:10. That's not dinner time.
That's
Dinner
fine.
time is not 5:10.
To the parents who have it together, it is.
We got there. So here's my sort of dual dumb dad moment. Yeah, well, that's not me.
Oh, I didn't say it was me.
Yeah, that's why you're listening to this. So you feel better if you do this too. So we get in the drive-thru line. It's taking forever.
Yeah.
Slower than normal, and I'm like, oh God. And then we get to like we're next, and this lady like walks out and puts a "Do not move" sign in front of my car, and then like stops me. The car that just got their food drives away, and now there's a void.
Oh.
I'm like, we've waited for so long. Why am I stopped? And she like had to go get ice, goes into this other building and gets a big bucket of ice and like wheels it in front of my car, and I'm like, everything's fine. This is fine. It's not your fault. You didn't know. You don't know that I hate you. I'm like, everything's fine. We'll be there. It's not like it's, 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
But we do get there. Now, here's the thing. We do get back there at like 6:10 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm texting my wife, hey, we're 9 minutes out. I'm going to pull up at the front. You come get the food and the little one so that you guys can all start eating. Because there's like, at this point, it's at this little middle school. There's like no parking. Everyone's already there at this point. So I'm like, I'll be parking in some neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they come and get the food and everything. And I run in there and like, I start eating. My daughter's eating. My wife's like helping. She's like still volunteering. And I'm like, where's the boy? I got his burger here. And she's like, his call time was 5. Like, he's in there now. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, so he's not eating dinner at all. She's like, I don't know when he would. And I'm like, oh, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the whole purpose of this entire thing was to make sure he eats because he's performing.
Yeah.
And won't have access to anything. We're all full.
Hey, some people do
He'll
better.
be starving.
Some performers do better on an empty stomach, man.
man.
They're ravenous after.
I felt really bad because I'm sitting there eating. And then it was like...
Then you're looking at his food and you're like,
And it was like...
that's looking pretty good.
Here's like the multiple dumb dad moment where I'm like, all these parents like start kind of clearing out the courtyard going in, and it's like 6:25, and I'm like, do we need to be going in? My wife's like, no, not necessarily. And I was like, yeah, because I was like, all these people are going in. It's like, we got 35 minutes. She's like, we have 5 minutes. It starts at 6:30, and I was like, there it is. Yeah.
So why are you saying not necessarily?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did have. I was like, do we have assigned seats? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So we have our seats. I misinterpreted also on top of my decision making of like getting in that drive-through line or deciding probably, I don't know if I would have. I'm not that smart. If I knew it was 6:30.
You were at the right school?
I was at the right school. Yeah. It's not, I do find some nuts on the ground.
Okay, good. Just not your marbles.
Yeah, I don't give any to my son. He's not allowed to have dinner until like anyway. So fast forward to like 9:30 at night at our house, and I'm like warming up his InNOut for him.
Did you at least take the lettuce out?
No, he likes
Just
it.
he likes it warm. It's nothing worse than warm lettuce. I mean, just nothing worse.
You're 100% right there. I will do that. If I'm reheating something that has lettuce as a part of it, I will remove that lettuce. You can't heat the lettuce. You can heat up a burger that you like want to finish, and lettuce is on there, and it's like warm lettuce.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Cool. Let's saute the mayo while
I'd
we're at
rather
it.
have a glass of milk. I'll find my way. I'll figure it out. So, not great.
Not great, but we're doing our best. And
Not
that's
great.
all we can ask.
That's all we can ask for. I'm trying.
I think we did okay this week. I think we'll do better next week. And that's our only hopes. And if
Been hoping it for 10 years in a row.
What a streak. Haven't been blank on one episode. for Dumb Dad Moments. If you guys have Dumb Dad Moments, you guys can email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us. We are at the Dumb Dads on Instagram. You can also mail us a letter. There's a link in our bio.
On Satakoy.
On Satakoy Street. Find the address. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks to Verdú on SoundCloud for the music of this podcast, and to my lovely wife, Annie, who edits this podcast. Do you have a joke to take us out?
I got a joke for you. Ready? Here it comes. Why do fish swim in salt water?
High cholesterol.
No. Pepper water makes them sneeze.
That's not... Okay. Doesn't explain why. It's why they don't swim in pepper water.
Yeah, but I think the answer is kind of intuitive.
Fresh water is an option.
All right, bye.
Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?